Hey YouTube, today I want to do something unusual for my channel, and that is just to offer an op-ed on the topic of the development of small YouTube channels. So what I'm going to talk about in this video are 4 things that when I was just starting to, I'll make a few guitar videos. I built this studio and maybe I'll just see if it's fun. When I was at that stage and I'm starting to turn my wheels in terms of, can I actually make this into a profitable thing? When those questions started turning in my head, these were 4 things that I was really not aware of and really unprepared for. So number 1 is partially my fault, and that is that I misunderstood the process of monetization, because I didn't look real closely at it. I just looked and they have these like little icons and stuff. I misunderstood. I thought that as soon as you start a channel and you get all the nuts and bolts of it done, that you have access to, if you want to offer where people can send you money, that you can do that right away. I was mistaken about that. I didn't try to do it, so that's why it never clicked in my head that that is not available to you. That is available to you when you hit 500 subscribers and you have 3,000 watch hours in a year's time. So in 365 days, you have 3,000 public watch hours. I thought, mistakenly, that that bar, the 500, 3,000 bar, was to access ad money. I was incorrect. That bar was simply to give you the ability to beg to your audience, will you please send me money? That's all that does, is they can either send you money on the regular or give you a one-time, here's a tip. Which, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with any of that. That's awesome. But I didn't realize that 500, 3,000 was that bar. The actual bar that you have to meet as a channel is 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours in a year's time. And the 365-day rule itself is a major impedance to small channels breaking through that glass ceiling and actually starting to get even a trickle of money. Because you might have the subscriber count, you might get a lot of people watching, you might get a lot of hits, but unless they are watching for a significant amount of time, you're not getting watch hours, and that's what you need. You need a lot of watch hours. You need people logging in and not just watching 3 minutes once, you need long views where they're watching long videos and so forth. So, watch hours is a very difficult thing to accumulate, especially if you can only do it in a year's time. Right? If they just said as long as the channel or gave you 3 years or something, that would make a lot more sense for small channel development. But it's 3,500 just to get access to the you can send me money, and then the 1,000 and 4,000, 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hours. That is to actually get ad money, which, by the way, they are already collecting, because there's already going to be ads popping up and so forth. And I love YouTube, and that of the social medias, this is the one that I've decided to dive into. I really dislike Facebook on a lot of levels. I really like YouTube, okay? But it has made it an art of teasing people into the market of making a channel, but making that carrot just far enough out that you can, I can smell it. I can smell it, but I can't taste it because I can never get my teeth on it. That's in a sense, sorry YouTube, just being honest here, that's kind of the con of getting people to start these small channels, is that the bar is set where you're like, I can probably do that. And you start getting subscribers and you start getting, well, yeah, I can probably do that. But then you realize some things about it. And so the first thing is just that it's not 500 and 3,000, it's 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours in a year's time. That's a little bit harder. So the number 2 thing is the fact that shorts don't count towards your watch hours. See, as a new developer, when I stepped into shorts, started putting out these little shorts, as in I was just doing clips, 50, 60-second clips from my videos, they were, all of a sudden I'm getting hits. The hits are raining down on me, and I see in my analytics the watch hours, going up, because even if they're only watching a minute, if 60 people watch a minute, that's an hour. Okay, so I'm sitting there, oh man, my watch hours are going up. I've got it. I've got this. Is happening. This is happening. And then, in curiosity, I went over and checked my analytics, and I didn't have but just a fraction of my watch hours in there. And I went, but my analytics right there says just in the last 28 days I've gotten over 700 watch hours, and yet I've got like 400 logged. So, and I've been doing this for more than 28 days. So what's the deal? The deal is that the shorts don't count towards your watch hours. There is another thing where you can get 3 million shorts hits in 90 days. It boggles my mind. Right? The issue being that, again, it's that carrot. Ooh, I put a short out and it got 500 hits. Oh, I put a short out and it got 2,000 hits. Oh, for new channels, that's like, oh, the rainbow. But then you look at your analytics and your watch hours didn't go up diddly. Because you didn't get hits on your actual long video, you got hits on your short. And that only counts towards short hits, which is a impossibly high. You got to get a bunch of like viral videos, a squirrel sniffing its butt and falling off a tree or something, and then you got 5 million hits. You're gambling basically. It's lottery. And shorts are great in that they're bringing people into my channel, so I continue to do them. But it took most of the steam out of my shorts production to realize that they don't count towards my watch hours. Number 3 is algorithm chasing. Oh my gosh, all the videos out there about if you click this, you'll get from 0 views to 1,000 views. If you click this, you got to make sure this, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this. This is how you get a big video, and all these videos have thousands of views because everybody wants to know how to get a big video. Oh, and I suppress my gag reflex and wade into these videos about algorithm and tuning to search engine. It's just awful, and I listen to them and I try to pay attention, and it's just and not only that, the algorithm is constantly changing. So what might be good advice one day might be crap advice the next week. You just never know. And you don't know, you see 2 videos with completely opposite claims about you click this or don't ever click that. Put out videos every day, don't ever put them out. Contradictory claims, and you don't know which one's right. They both have thousands of views and likes, and you're like, I don't know which one's the right advice. And one might have been right at one point, and now the other one's right, and you don't know. And it can make you crazy. The algorithm chasing. Beware. Algorithm chasing. It's just a pit of anxiety and despair. Beware. Beware. Don't go down that path. If you are developing a small channel, just focus on doing what you love and what you would want to watch. Because if you're going to do it right, you're going to have to watch yourself a lot. Woo! Sometimes I get so tired of my voice. I have to listen to it, because I'm not just going to make a video and you put it out there. I edit it, I listen to it, I cut when I'm being, dumb or rambling too long, I trim it, I do all these things, so I have to listen to my own voice. So if you don't like the sound of your own voice, this is not a great occupational choice, okay? But algorithm chasing can make you crazy. So just be careful. And that goes right into analytics chasing. That, oh, analytics can be very helpful, but they can just raise your anxiety level through the roof because you're, oh, I put up this video and I just put so much into it, and I just love this video and it's got 3 views and a dislike or whatever. You know, it can be anxiety inducing to have to wade through the algorithm, and why does this video go off and get 1,000+ hits and this video gets 12 hits and nobody sees it? And the magic and mythos of the algorithm is why. And you know, you might as well have a pointy hat and call yourself Merlin if you actually know what's going on with the algorithm. It is a search engine, and there are like generic things we can say about it, but chasing that algorithm is chasing the tail that you're never going to catch. So beware of that. The number 4 thing, and I want to say first and foremost that the community that has been developing around my channel is awesome. And I really am digging the vibe that I'm getting from the people that are not just watching, subscribing, but like interacting and talking. This is great. Okay, so I will say that the community is largely worth the effort. If you want to build up a community around the topic that you want to talk about, that you feel so led that you're going to do a series of videos on this topic, you will get a wonderful bubble community around you if you do it right and you hang with it long enough. And that is amazing. So I wanted to say that before I say this next thing, and that is just simply, and this is not talking about any individual person or anything. This is taking a big step back and making some meta claims. That is, claims on the big picture of our culture at this time. Okay? Meta claims. Here's my meta claim, and that is that people are over everythinged. We are overstimulated, over-entertained. Our time is taxed. There's so many options for everything out there. We have all these streaming channels with 100 years of movies and all these things. The thousands of hours that get uploaded onto YouTube every minute, and it's just, woo, so much. It's so much. It is so much. And I absolutely get that. I'm very selective about how I get out into the internet and get into social media because a lot of it is just awful. Awful, toxic, people just hating people they don't even know. I'm very careful about how I get online and everything, but the reality is, as a meta issue right now, we are overstimulated. And so starting yet another channel in whatever it is, guitars or whatever, growing plants, whatever, right? Whatever it is that you're into, that you're making a channel or you're thinking about making a channel, you know, you have to realize that there is this, it is an exhaustion that is setting into our cultural climate. And you can see it, this doesn't have anything to do with the internet, but the fact that every time that my family, we've got 3 kids, every time we have ever planned a birthday party, and we send out all these things, and we've tried different ways to do it. We've tried it here, we've tried it there, we've tried it up, we've tried it down, we've tried all these things, and you might get a couple of kids to show up, no matter how much work you put into it. And it's just astonishing. Like, when I was a kid, all you did was hand out, here everybody, you're invited to my party in your class, and probably at least half of them would show up. That was just expected back in the 80s. But now, like, everybody's just, I'm so tired. Right? Everybody's so exhausted, and part of the exhaustion is a cycle of, rather than actually talk to people and stuff, I'd rather just flip on my phone, doom scroll, right, and so forth. And there's just there's a malaise setting in that we have to be very careful of. And the way that this connects to the YouTube channel is that you have to get people to subscribe in order to make money. That is it's got to happen, right? But to get them to click that subscribe button can be a difficult process, and I understand why it's difficult because I feel that too when I'm looking at other channels. Now, as I've been developing, I've been subscribing. Every time I see a channel, I'm like, I like that, I like that. I'm subscribing all over the place, but I have my subscribe, you know, all of the notifications that all the channels I like when putting out videos, I have that all turned off. I kind of have to because I've got so many subscriptions that if I was actually getting pinged on my phone every time something happened on one of the channels I'm subscribed to, it would just be all the time, right? I can't do that. So here's what I am trying to do, and here's what I would recommend if you're considering doing a channel, is focus on the community building, because what you want is not just, you do want the people to just click subscribe. You absolutely want that. You need that, and finding a way to express your need is very important. But the real building happens when you get a community that starts building up around your channel. Okay, and that community will do more than just subscribe and then ignore your notifications. They will check in. They will come look at your channel because they want to see what's up. If you build community, you will get not just viewers, not just an audience, but an actual like group, a friendship with these other people. And that is where, in my humble opinion, that is where the good stuff happens here. As in here, as in the YouTube, the YubTub. That is where the good stuff happens. And that is where you get actual human interaction. Social media, not anti-social media. Social media, where people are socializing and saying, oh, I love that guitar that you put on there. Or, oh, I have that guitar and I love it too. Yes. That is where the magic happens. And that is, I'm even getting a little dopamine blast right now as I'm talking about it, because I love getting those comments when I put out a video on a guitar and I'm like, man, this guitar, it's got this and that, but it's beautiful and I love to play it. And then somebody writes a comment, I have that same guitar and it's beautiful and I love to play it. And we're like, yeah, fist bump. That's where the magic happens, right? And so if you are considering developing a channel, it's, even though they are going to be measuring you on your numbers, on your metrics, the metrics will happen if you can build the community. Now, I'm not there yet either. I'm in the process. And I have asked multiple times along the way, is this worth it? Because this is a lot of work. And so far I have made $0. I have made nothing. And I have spent a good bit of money on computer and all these things. So I'm actually in the negative. And the more I looked at monetizing, the more I was like, this is worse than I thought it was. This is worse than I thought it was. And I keep asking, and if it were not, listen to me now, if it were not for my wonderful, supportive wife, I would have already given up on this channel. I'm just being honest. Because I could do almost anything else and that is associated with making money and actually be making something, right? But right now I'm just investing in something that I hope will one day bring me an income, but that hope is just, it's just, I can't grab it. And every time I look at it in more detail, it seems like it's further away than the last time I looked at it, even though I know I'm building and growing. But it's the difficulty of climbing that mountain becomes more apparent as time goes on. As always, if you enjoy my content, please like and subscribe. And if you are, as I am, a small channel developer out there, and you are going through some of these same issues and questions and stuff, comment down below. Let's commiserate. I'll subscribe to you. Just comment. Tell me about your channel, right? I have started connecting with other similarly sized and like oriented guitar channels out there, and they're awesome. And that's also been very uplifting. The things that have kept me in this game, first and foremost, my wife. I would not like physically be able to do this without her support, but also her emotional support. But number two is the community, that they have been so uplifting. And through those moments where I'm like, is this really worth it? And I get these comments that are like, oh, I love the video, or oh, that's so wonderful, and they lift me up. They really are. And then number 3 are the other guitar channels and their communities. And the more that I'm reaching out and finding these other people like me doing similar things, it's building a network of connections that are truly meaningful. So thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and you'll have a wonderful day.